everyone, Henrik Karapetyan here at Violin Outside the Box with Dr. K. And today I'm going to talk about a technique called string crossing, or for the musical nerds out there, the Bariolage, or should I say, le Bariolage. Yeah, it is masculine. It is. So the string crossing is a technique that's been used in a lot of works for violin, specifically in the repertoire that comes from the Baroque period. Composers like Vivaldi, Locatelli, Handel, Bach, and it's ironic that I actually was just playing Bach, even though the series is called Violin Outside the Box. Anyway, so partially I think it was used so much in the Baroque period because the fingerboards of the violin were a little bit shorter, that didn't allow as much shifting up and down. And instead, the bow arm had to work a little bit harder going from one string to another. And, well, the bows were also a little bit lighter, had a different quality, so it was easier to do the string crossings then. There are romantic pieces that also have string crossings, but again, I think it's most of the string crossing or bariolage repertoire that you see will be from the Baroque period. Now, here is, I want to bring your attention to the English and the French terms. In English, we say string crossing, which describes the process you have to go through to achieve that technique. You have to cross strings from one to the other. Each successive note on a different string. While French actually describes the effect of that technique, because bariolage, it's a French verb that means to change colors, to paint with different colors, and I'm always fascinated by how specific terms coined for specific words actually show to some degree the psychology or even philosophy of a group of people or like a nation, without generalizing. In English, being very practical, a very kind of business language, it just tells you what you have to do to achieve that technique, while the French, to paint with colors, shows what will happen if you do that. Anyway, this is not a linguistics lesson, so back to the technique. I always start my technique videos with a demonstration, just to show you guys that it's not just theory. I can do it, and I can probably help you do that too, if you actually listen to that, go until the end of the video. And before we start, if you would like to click on the like button to help the algorithm, to help me so I can generate more videos for you, and possibly subscribe if you haven't yet, that'll be very nice. So let's go. So the type of bariolage we're going to talk about today is the one where we use separate bows, down and up or up and down. In other words, no slurs. There is a slurred variety of bariolage to that one day I'll have a video for it. But today, just the down up, or again, the separate bows. The most important thing to remember is that you use your wrist for that mostly. It's a wrist movement. It's like a, kind of an oval or circular movement, clockwise generally. It's like it's like cooking something in a pan and using a utensil like that, right? So usually I choose to do down on the lower string and up on the top string, on a higher string. Now I'm assuming that this is the bariolage where we change the string on every note, because there is not a variety I'll talk about. Down and up, down on the lower string, up on the higher string, I mean the pitch, of course. And if you notice, I'm not moving my arm as much. So the level of my arm is on E string. It's as if I was playing something on E string. And to get to the A, I'm just moving my wrist up like this. I'll show the movement a couple of times. Yeah. And when you don't move your forearm, the wrist is actually, it's able to produce very small bows like this, but that should be enough, provided you have a little bit of weight from the index finger, and I do like pronating my arm towards me a little bit for that. Yeah? So Now, I do use a little bit of forearm movement in my playing, but again, most of it is done by the wrist. Now, when it gets a little faster than that, then I actually switch the bowing. So let's say if I'm playing, I'll play an excerpt from Vivaldi's Four Seasons. So this is so fast that if I try to do it, with the version that I showed, where I play down bow on the lower string, it probably won't work. It's just very difficult to do it in this part of the bow. So I go to the end of the bow, start down on the top string, and notice I'm not using my wrist anymore. I can't. It's just too fast for the wrist movement. So I just stiffen my arm, and I'm going to hope that this section, is not something that lasts forever, because my arm is going to get really tired. And now it's this kind of a movement of the entire forearm, yeah? So. And again, in the first one that I showed, I was starting, I was starting down bow on the lower string and up bow on the top string. I want to make sure I'm not saying anything wrong. This one, my down bow is on the top string, on E string. And the level of my arm now is not on E, it's on the A string. So whatever note I'm playing with the up bow, whatever string I'm playing with the up bow on, that's the level of my elbow. That's going to be the level of my elbow. That's the essence of it. There is, of course, another type of bariolage from the same Four Seasons by Vivaldi. I mean, this is easier because you have so many notes on G, so just little flicker of a wrist, of course. I'm not moving my arm. And here the G, open G, is acting as a drone, basically. A furious drone. Yeah, and very often one of the notes in the bariolage will be just a drone. Yeah. Now about that one type of bariolage where I used three strings at the same time. It was towards the end of the segment that I played from Bach's Prelude. Now this one goes A, E, A, B, the order of the strings. So if I don't play any of the fingers, and this is a little bit different. I can't really use my wrist as much, and this is where my knuckles come to help. I'm letting my pinky go off completely, sometimes even the ring finger. I'm just, pushing the index finger down a little bit, centralizing speaking politically, centralizing the power now. So the weight and the strength of my arm is not distributed, equally through all four fingers, but it's just the index finger mostly. And mostly using my knuckles. And how do I use that? On a down bow, they flatten on the E string. I'm sorry. The knuckles are getting a little more curved, yeah, kind of protruding, and then again they're flattening on the A, and on D I'm actually using my arm a little bit. So it's although on D I do release that that flattened knuckles a little bit again, and so it's a very different technique. So that seems to be all, I think, that I had to say today. Hopefully that helps. Oh, a strategy to practice that. If you guys try to go, and it's difficult to get it first, practice. This really helped me a lot. Practice like this. Let's say you play a few notes on A. If let's say we're doing a bariolage on D and A, right? Play a few notes on A, and then stop. Go to D. But see, go to D with just just a flicker of a wrist, no arm. So maybe every fourth note can be, or let's say you can play quadruples and the first note can be on D and the other three on A. And then slowly, maybe once in a while, hit the D a little bit more often. Last thing, see how I'm holding my bow? Not right at the frog, yeah, but actually more like the Baroque bows were held right here. This way the weight is distributed a little bit differently, so it's like the balance is shifted a little bit, and I find myself at a part of the bow where it's a little bit easier to do the string crossing, plus because there is more weight on this side. It is just easier. The bow just feels a little bit lighter. And since I'm not playing any Brahms concerto or anything that requires very smooth, very kind of creamy sounds, and also the resistance of the spring, natural spring of the bow, then I can just again bring my hand here a little bit, just a couple of inches, yeah, and that makes the string crossings easier. Well, hope this was very helpful. Go practice your Bariolage. And we'll meet very soon with another video about another slurred Bariolage. Meanwhile, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.